Take a look at these clips. Every single one was generated from a static 3D render, no animation software, no keyframes, just an image and an AI. Today we are going deep on Seedance 2.0, but we are not just going to make pretty clips. We are going to break it, test its limits, find where it fails, and figure out exactly where it belongs in a real architectural workflow. Before you do anything creative with AI video, you need to understand what it can and can't do with the camera. So I ran a full battery of tests, every major camera move you would use in a walkthrough or presentation reel. And here's the important part. I only gave it one image, no end frame, no extra reference, just a start frame and a prompt. For all of this, I'm using ChatLLM by Abacus AI. It's the app I use for almost everything. It has the most useful AI tools and models under one roof for just $10 a month. All the generations you are about to see were made inside it. Here's how the setup works. Click Videos at the top and select Seedance 2.0 as your model. For prompt, just type dolly in and choose standard input mode. That's where you give it a start frame and optionally an end frame. There is also a reference mode where you can feed it up to 9 images, videos and even audio. So I'll leave it modify input prompt off. Every time I've turned it on, the results go sideways. And for aspect ratio 16:9 at 720p. This is currently the max resolution you can generate for now, but you can upscale your videos directly inside ChatLLM. I'll let you know how later in the video. Now for the duration, set it to 5 seconds. Now let's run the tests. So dolly in is when the camera physically moves forward. So it nails it, clean, smooth, no wrapping. The pan is where the camera rotates left or right on a fixed axis. Got it right both times. Movement is fluid. The tilt is when the camera rotates up or down, and the movement is correct for Seedance. The truck is when the camera moves sideways. So the first try, no issues here, it got it right. The pedestal, this is where it breaks down. The camera should move straight up. Instead, it drifts backwards. So, for 2 generations, same mistake. The AI just doesn't understand the difference between vertical travel and depth travel. For a zoom in, it's perfect. Smooth push into the coffee table with the correct depth of field fall off. For the dolly zoom, also known as the vertical effect, the camera pulls back while the lens zooms in simultaneously. I tried 3 different prompt variations and all of the 3 failed. The AI doesn't have a mental model of this move yet. So this shot is when the camera circles around the subject. I tried it around the person first and it kept hitting a sensitive content error. And what I think is happening here, Seedance was held back for a long time over Hollywood copyright concerns. And now any person that remotely resembles any public figure triggers a flag. It's frustrating. I switched to circling the coffee table instead, and that worked fine. Hopefully they loosen this up because right now it's overly sensitive. For the handheld, it's when the camera has an intentional shake. And for this it doesn't work at all. I tried with different prompts and it never got the camera shake from a handheld. Seedance 2.0 handles most standard camera movement convincingly from a single frame. Where it struggles is unconventional or really physical defying moves. And whenever you can, give it both a start and end frame. It's more consistent and it avoids a little bit more the hallucination. Now let's talk about something with a real use case for interior designers and architects. Animating a space going from empty to furnished. The key to making this work is giving the AI as little room to hallucinate as possible. And the way you do that is with the start and end frame function. So I used Nano Pro to generate a render for the empty room. So that becomes my start frame. The furnished version becomes my end frame. In the prompt, I specify no music, so I get sound effects instead of a random soundtrack Seedance decides to compose for me. So standard mode, 720p and for 10 seconds. The result is clean, objects appear naturally, the transition feels intentional. And by the way, all the prompts I'm using in today's video are in the description below, so you can get them from there. So now here's where it gets impressive. Take this render. There's a curtain near an open window. I want it to blow in the wind. I only use a start frame here, no end frame. And let Seedance handle the physics. Just with the first try, the curtain moves correctly, the reflection on the TV updates with the movement, the shadows shift, and without me asking for it, the fireplace animates too. This is the kind of thing that used to require a full simulation setup, hours of baking, iteration, dealing with unstable sims. Now it's one generation. That's a genuine workflow shift. This one is straightforward, but worth covering because it's immediately useful. Start frame, it's the daytime render, and end frame, it's the evening render. And my prompt is time-lapse animation from day to night. The result is a clean, convincing time-lapse. Light warms, shadows shift, the sun transitions naturally. For any project where you need to show how a space performs across different lighting conditions, this takes minutes instead of a full re-render pass. And next up we have animating people. This is still one of the hardest things to do well with any AI video tool, and Seedance actually works quite well. First test, a standard living room render. Goal is to have a person walk naturally into the frame. So, single start frame, no end frame. And it works quite well. The rendering goes from a static to alive, and more importantly, it reads as emotionally present in a way a still image just can't achieve. And for my second test, a time-lapse of a family living in the space. And I got the same sensitive content error as before. And here's the workaround for now. Instead of giving it an image with people already in it, just describe them in the prompt. Tell Seedance there's a family in the space. It will generate them itself, and it won't flag the content. You lose some control over exactly who's in the shot, but you get the results. And honestly, the output from that approach is compelling for storytelling. It gives the space life and context in a way that resonates with clients. One last thing worth knowing. Seedance 2.0 currently maxes out at 720p, as I said before. That's fine for previews and presentations, but if you need to deliver quality output, you can upscale directly inside ChatLLM using the Topaz upscaler. Go to Videos, select Topaz Upscaler, upload your clip, and set your scale multiplier. For example, for 4K, set it to 3. Keep the frame rate at 30 frames per second and hit generate. The result isn't flawless, there's some softening on complex edges, but it gives you a workable, high-resolution file without sending your video to a separate tool or paying for another subscription. And the next step is to subscribe to my videos and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video, because I'll be covering more advanced techniques with Seedance 2.0. So stay tuned if you don't want to miss them. So Seedance 2.0 isn't perfect. It falls on certain camera moves, it's overly sensitive with people, and 720p is a ceiling that matters for professional delivery. But what gets it gets right convincingly. And for architecture and interior design specifically, the furnishing transitions, the physics animation, and lighting time-lapses are really good and the best I've seen so far, and really useful in a client-facing context. And remember, all of this was done inside ChatLLM by Abacus AI. One app, one subscription. All the AI tools you actually need for only $10 a month. The link will be in the description below. And so that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.